was playing around with all these default backgrounds, and I saw that there's an Eiffel Tower as well. And I had such an interesting chat with someone yesterday about the power of symbols and the way in which we can anchor ourselves and give ourselves power in our hands by just creating and selecting a symbol that can represent that for us. And the Eiffel Tower is such a wonderful symbol of human ingenuity and of the wonderful ability that we have to build. Because that's one of the creation laws of our earth, is that everything here is constantly being built. But at the same time, in order to make space for what is being built, things are also continuously being broken down. So welcome. It's a new year. It's 2024. You know, and 24 represents 12 months times 2. So 24 is 2 years, correct? 24 months. So 2024 is the year of opportunity. And because the numbers of the year, if you want to look at it from a numerology perspective, then if you add the numbers of the year, then they add up to 8. And 8 is the number of infinity. It's the infinity symbol because it continuously, it's the bridge across forever, just continuous. It's infinity. It's like perpetual energy. Never stops. It just keeps velocitizing itself, if there's such a word. Imagine if we can find the formula to velocitizing ourselves every day. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Anyway, I'm going to take off the Eiffel Tower now because I prefer to oops, now I've stopped sharing. I don't know how I'm going to get rid of this default background. Let me see if I do this. There we go. Now I'm back in my own office. That's much better. So today I want to chat to you about dealing with difficult people. And you may also wonder why I have not sent out an invitation to join me on the Energizers, because I simply thought that since I have the YouTube channel, it is so much easier for people to go and find me on the channel. You know, you can use the Youth Charlotte Mamasi and Zen, Z-E-N, and I'm sure you'll be able to locate me with those 3 I'm not sure if you just use Charlotte, if the algorithms will allow, because I don't have a channel that's followed by the millions, fortunately for me, because I am not speaking, or my words does not appeal to the masses, because I'm not really coming from a place to impress. I'm just coming from a place to share with you some thoughts from an old heart that has long walked a long path on the earth, because I have certainly walked a fearless path in my life to date. And my life is testimony of it. And one of the things that I've recognized is that I certainly am fearless when it comes to dying, because it's for me a great privilege to have been able to live this life and then to transition and to continue. So with all of that, I've made no preparations today. So now you need to stay with me, because my mind's going to jump to many places in this conversation with you this morning. So it's morning here where I am, so a Sunday morning. And why did I call this series the Energizer series? Is because we really do need to velocitize ourselves. And I will claim that word. TM, velocitize. I need to claim something. And, we all in this world ultimately become some sort of follower. And it's social media demands that of us, that we because looking at me as if, because my dog, she's looking at me and wondering, who am I talking to, number one, because I don't normally talk at this time on a Sunday morning. And she's very intrigued to know why I'm laughing so much, because I'm engaging play and she wants to play along. So we all live in a society where followers is one of the most important ways of showing your success in life. That the more people that follow you, or that is going to give you a tick and a like, the more value you represent as a person in this world. Unfortunately, that is the furthest away from the truth, because followers, that's one of the reasons I was when my friend invited me to join Twitter, when it first came on, when the first Twitter accounts were available, he said to me, join this, this is going to be, you can do a lot of stuff with this Twitter. And I was on Twitter. I still have some Twitter profiles that are hanging around there, because unfortunately, when all my passwords were pinched, I don't have access to those anymore. Neither the email accounts that I associated with them. So that I cannot access anymore. But they're still hanging around there in the ethers, that's for sure. So I said, when I saw, because one of my tweets once was even retweeted by Justin Bieber. I don't know if it was him personally, but Justin Bieber retweeted one of my tweets, that, and because I was active on Twitter all the time, and I had several accounts, and I was just expressing and going and carrying on and sharing my thoughts. And then when I realized it was all about followers, I just completely dropped off, because I'm not here in this world to be followed. And you should not want that for yourself either. As a leader, you are not followed, you show the way. It's a very different thing. To show the way doesn't mean that you need people to walk in line behind you to follow you, or to like you or not, but that you know and that you are sure of where you're going. And how can you be sure of where you're going when you're making known the unknown? It's very simple. When you're making known the unknown in a place where you respect yourself and you respect the way that you are being treated in this world, and you respect the way that people relate to what you are delivering. And I'm going to say that again. When you respect yourself, when you respect the way that people relate to you, and when you respect the way in which you deliver yourself in this world, then you do not need followers, because you're also not an influencer. You don't want to be an influencer. You want to be an inspiration. You want to inspire people to actually become more. Not because you're chasing content. I've got to create content. I've got to create content. I've got to create content. Because ultimately, that's all it becomes, to create content. And that's why I also stopped with the Energizer process as I was approaching it, because I was constantly thinking about creating content. No, I'm not in that stream. I'm not in that flow. I'm sitting here because I'm doing a heart speak with you. I'm sharing the stuff from my innermost being. Why? Because it works. And because when I live that, my life works. And that feels good. So, as a follower, you don't have a chance to stand out. You don't have a chance to show up, because you're in the crowd. So I'm inviting you in 2024 to not be a follower, but to stand out. And you're not going to stand out because you want people's admiration. You're not going to stand out because you want people's likes. You're not going to stand out because you want to impress or prove yourself to get approval. You're going to stand out because of your magnificence, your authenticity, your presence, your loving beingness, the way that people in your presence just feel like they're being taken in, they're being cherished, they're being hugged, they're being loved. I was just looking at this magnificent piece that I was given the other day in our clothing exchange by dearest Sarishka. Sarishka, I feel like a goddess wearing this. Oh, it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, when we look at this year, 2024, I think that we need to start by acknowledging and recognizing that we constantly and daily dealing with difficult people. People are becoming very difficult to deal with. Why? Because life is difficult for them. For me, life is good. For me, life is an adventure that I cherish every day. And good doesn't mean tra-la-la. Good means it serves me. Good means it makes me grow. Good means it serves my health. So when I give myself permission to receive my highest good, I give myself permission for those things that is going to serve me to grow. Because when you grow, you see that it's good. If you read the Holy Scriptures, you see that the Creators purported to have said, after everything that He created, He saw that it was good. So if you know that you are giving yourself permission to prosper and to flourish and to stand up, not to have followers, not to chase money and status, but to give your best and to be authentic, and most of all, to show life your self-sufficiency. That what you apply about yourself makes you autonomous. You stand on your own 2 feet. That's what this planet is all about. If you look at the creation laws demand of a tiny animal newborn, to be able to run with the herd. Within minutes of its birth, it has to stand and it has to run around its mother, because it can be required and it can be demanded of to run at any moment when its life is threatened. And if it cannot run, it's going to be food, because that's how it works here. We are all in this process of being food for the planet, for the system. The system feeds on us, our own bodies. I remember I heard, what's his name? Russell is his first name. The man that's got so many followers. And he was saying, our bodies are just fancy hotels for billions and billions of things that are feeding on us every moment, every second. I mean, if you see the photographs of these things that they purport that's walking on our faces, that's feeding on our skin, microscopically, because we can't see them, but they're there, then you will realize that you are food as well. And, dust to dust. This is a planet, this whole planet Earth has become such a shithole. But not for the reasons that it's supposed to be a shithole. It's become a shithole because of the choices of humans. Yet, it's a shithole by creation laws. Because Because in 2024, you're going to have to know the creation laws backwards, like you used to study things in school so that you can narrate it like a good little girl. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck one, the mouse ran down. Hickory dickory dock. And then you feel so proud because you could narrate it and you did it all by yourself. And so life teaches us from the beginning that you need to do things by yourself. But coming back to the creation laws, you see, I warned you, I'm going to be all over the place. So coming back to the creation laws, it's a shithole, the earth. And going into this new year at the end of January, we're already in February. You may have already experienced the pressure and the challenges and dealing with difficult people. Because people are in pain. And people are worrying about their future. Because things are so unsure. We seem to be grabbing at guarantees and looking for things to reassure us. But those things seem to be becoming scarcer and scarcer day by day. You know, I personally was thinking that I was doing so well financially and that I'm good. And then I saw my bank statement yesterday and I went, oops. So, and then I reassured myself and I said, but it's okay. Because I haven't been asking people for increases in my work ever, really. Because for me, respect is that you should know that I have a cost of living to contend with and that you should reward me for that accordingly because of what I deliver in your life. Shouldn't be necessary for me to ask you because you are paying my salary after all. So that I can be here, so that I can be self-sufficient. But as an equal exchange, which is another creation law, in equal exchange, I gift you. I gift you things that allow you to transcend many lessons in life, that you spare yourself a lot of suffering. And my work also guides you so that you can see yourself and that you can know your greatness and your magnificence. And that as the years grow and as the year go past, because many of you have been with me for 15, 20, some going on 28 years now, I think someone said to me this past week. It's a lifetime to be in the presence of a teacher, because that's what I am. And what does a teacher mean? A teacher means that you are given information that you need to remember. Because we are born in forgetfulness. So the earth is a shithole. And that means that you're really living in a cesspit. And in a cesspit, you're going to be dodging the turds because they're going to be floating past 6 by the dozen. And in most situations, in most situations, we are challenged to stay the same and to stay suffering, because then we're also feeding a system that thrives and that benefits and grows from that. Because manure is manure. And on the earth, everything grows because it's fed shit. Look at the mushrooms. Mushrooms grow in manure. And mushrooms is a delicacy in many respects. Its medicinal properties are also now being recognized finally, which is absolutely wonderful, because psilocybin is a wonderful medicine for humans if it's used with respect. Always respect. So, in the shithole, you've got to recognize that everything grows with shit. That's why it's generated at such a level. Everything on this earth excretes. has excrement. The trees, the plants, the worms, the insects, the humans, everything has, animals, insects, plants, everything has an excrement. If it breathes, it has an excrement. So therefore, you've got to learn to navigate the excrement in your own consciousness, because it's a law. There's going to be excrement. If you're alive, you're going to have excrement. And you deal with excrement that comes out your rear end when you sit on the toilet. So you've created a space to deal with excrement. You know, that's where we've had evolution, because we used to just go sit behind a bush like the animals do. So deal with your excrement, because dealing with difficult people, you need to start with yourself. Because my God, are you difficult? I know how difficult I am. Oh, my dogs understand me, fortunately, but dogs is God spelled backwards, so that's par for the course. So I'm lucky that way. So you can see many miracles in your life every day. Many. But we are so caught up in the cause, the big cause of things. I'm upset because this is going wrong because that's happening because so-and-so said so because this very difficult person is doing XYZ because you are always, there's the word, because. You see, we say it constantly. You are so busy finding, even when I talk to people, I say to them, just hold on, just stay with what you are saying. We are so close and we are so educated and we are so conditioned to jump forward to what we think is the because. But if you just stop, and just for a moment, just stop. Just, the word just. It's a wonderful word, but use it properly. Just stop. Am I thinking this thought? Or are you running after some barrage of turds that just came past in this cesspit called your thinking? Not your thinking, your thoughts. Cancel that thought, because it's your thoughts that's the problem. Your thinking is your greatness. That's why that dude said, I think, therefore I am. It's not about the fact that you can. The thoughts that are happening in your head is the turds, it's the shit. It comes to you in torrents. And then there's the avalanches, and then there's the tsunamis, and then there's the sluices that are opened, and then it just floods you with the most ridiculous, the most ridiculous accusations, criticism, warnings, I don't know, prophets of doom. You know, like the ones that's been predicting the Earth's going to end on the 28th of September now. I mean, they've been predicting for years already when the Earth's going to end. We have a promise. The Earth will end with fire. Now, if you look at the Earth already in the process that we're in, there's fires everywhere. We are already being shown that the Earth is in the process of fires, and they are hectic fires. As a person who's lived in this country, in my country, South Africa, all my life, I've never seen or heard of the amount and the severity of the fires that we are dealing with now. It's unheard of. But it's aligned, because the fire is the way the Earth is going to go. Because just yesterday I was thinking, And I was praying and I was saying, God, this, just the amount of, oh, I cringe when I think about it, just the amount of tiny tortoises that are burnt alive because they can't get away from the flames. Some of the animals can run, but they eventually also get overcome by the fire, by the flames, because it's the smoke is just, and the heat is just unbearable. So the earth is going to be demolished and the earth is going to end with fire. That's a promise. It's written in the prophecies, in all the Holy Scriptures. So the earth is already preparing itself in the way that the fires are raging on the planet, whether it's Australia, whether it's California, whether it's in the United States, whether it's in India, whether it's here, the fires are raging. And billions and billions and billions and billions, they're burning Amazon right now as we speak. So the things that are generating our oxygen is systematically removed.